Imagine this. You've spent hours crafting the perfect resume, you've perfected your LinkedIn profile, and you've even tailored your cover letter to match the job description with surgical precision. But when you finally land that all-important interview, it all comes down to one thing: how you answer those tough questions. One misstep, one moment of hesitation, and the opportunity could slip right through your fingers. How do you tackle those curveball questions that interviewers throw at you? You know the ones. What's your biggest weakness? Or why did you leave your last job? The kind of questions that seem designed to test your character, your confidence, and your ability to think on your feet. This book, How to Answer Interview Questions, 101 Tough Interview Questions by Peggy McKee, is not just about getting through those questions. It's about mastering them. It's your backstage pass to the kind of insider knowledge that most job seekers only wish they had. McKee dives deep into the psychology of interviews, offering expert guidance on how to frame your responses in ways that highlight your strengths, showcase your skills, and turn potential pitfalls into opportunities for growth and connection. But here's the kicker. This book doesn't just give you generic advice. It gives you strategies for answering the most challenging and unexpected questions that you might face in any interview, whether it's with a startup, a Fortune 500 company, or anything in between. And we're not talking about rehearsed, robotic answers. We're talking about crafting responses that feel natural, confident, and, most importantly, authentic. In this opening, we'll explore some of the tough questions that could make or break your interview. Picture yourself walking into the room, nerves running high, and an interviewer leans across the table to ask one of these. Tell me about a time you failed. How did you handle it? What makes you think you're qualified for this job? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? If you've ever found yourself frozen in a moment like this, wondering if you'll ever find the right words to say, you're not alone. It's in these moments that the right preparation can make all the difference. Peggy McKee helps you understand that these aren't trick questions. They're opportunities to show your growth, resilience, and forward-thinking mindset. The key to navigating these questions lies in understanding the deeper purpose behind them. McKee lays out a step-by-step approach to uncover what interviewers are really looking for and how you can tailor your answers to reflect exactly what they need. From demonstrating your problem-solving abilities to showcasing your willingness to learn and adapt, this book teaches you how to weave your unique story into your answers in a way that resonates with the interviewer. For instance, let's take the dreaded, "Tell me about a time you failed." This question can feel like a trap, but McKee teaches you to turn it into a positive by emphasizing what you learned from the experience, how you applied those lessons in future situations, and how that made you a better employee. Instead of focusing on the failure itself, you show that you're reflective, self-aware, and always striving to improve. And then there's the question that often catches candidates off guard. What's your greatest weakness? It's not just about acknowledging where you could improve. It's about presenting it in a way that highlights your commitment to self-improvement and growth. McKee shows you how to talk about your weaknesses in a way that doesn't raise red flags, but rather emphasizes your self-awareness and willingness to learn. Throughout the book, McKee helps you unlock the strategies to give the kind of answers that leave interviewers nodding in agreement, impressed by your thoughtfulness, composure, and professionalism. Whether you're looking to land your first job, shift careers, or step into a more senior role, mastering these interview questions will give you a major advantage. But here's something even more exciting. McKee doesn't just stop with the tough questions. She also prepares you for the curveballs, the unexpected questions that can feel like they come out of nowhere. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why? While this might seem like an oddball question, McKee teaches you how to respond in a way that reflects your personality, creativity, and ability to think on your feet. It's these types of questions that give you the chance to showcase your adaptability and charisma, so why not use them to your advantage? In this book, McKee doesn't just give you one-size-fits-all answers. She gives you frameworks for crafting your responses based on your personal experiences, goals, and the specific job you're applying for. Each of the 101 questions comes with detailed strategies and example answers, showing you how to craft your response to reflect the qualities and skills that interviewers are looking for. There's more to acing an interview than just answering questions. It's about confidence, presence, and the ability to make a lasting impression. McKee emphasizes that the way you answer the question is just as important as the content of your answer. Tone, body language, and the way you structure your responses all play a significant role in how you come across. By the time you've read through this book, you'll not only know exactly how to answer even the toughest questions, but you'll also have the confidence to walk into any interview room, ready to face whatever challenges come your way. You'll have the tools to connect with your interviewer, stand out from the crowd, and make a memorable impression. So, whether you're preparing for your first interview or you've been in the job market for years, How to Answer Interview Questions 101 Tough Interview Questions is your essential guide to transforming every interview into an opportunity to shine. Get ready to unlock your potential, ace those interviews, and step confidently into your next career adventure. Introduction. The job interview is a critical juncture in the employment process where candidates must effectively communicate their qualifications, experience, and suitability for a role. McKee emphasizes that beyond the surface-level questions, interviewers are fundamentally seeking answers to, "Why should we hire you?" This book is designed to equip candidates with the tools to articulate compelling responses that address this underlying inquiry. Chapter 1. Understanding the Interviewer's Perspective. McKee begins by delving into the psychology of interviewers, explaining that each question posed is a means to assess a candidate's fit within the company culture, their problem-solving abilities, and potential contributions. By understanding the intent behind common interview questions, candidates can tailor their responses to meet the interviewer's expectations effectively. Chapter 2. The Importance of Preparation. Preparation is paramount. McKee advises thorough research into the company's history, mission, and the specifics of the role applied for. This knowledge enables candidates to align their answers with the company's values and objectives, demonstrating genuine interest and cultural fit. Additionally, understanding the industry landscape allows candidates to position themselves as informed and proactive individuals. Chapter 3. Crafting Your Personal Narrative. A compelling personal narrative sets a candidate apart. McKee encourages job seekers to reflect on their career journeys, identifying key experiences that highlight their skills, achievements, and growth. By weaving these experiences into a cohesive story, candidates can present themselves as authentic and relatable, making a memorable impression on interviewers. Chapter 4. Mastering the STAR Method. To effectively answer behavioral interview questions, McKee introduces the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. This structured approach enables candidates to provide clear and concise responses that showcase their problem-solving abilities and accomplishments. By detailing specific situations, the tasks involved, the actions taken, and the results achieved, candidates can demonstrate their competencies in a tangible way. Chapter 5. Addressing Strengths and Weaknesses. When discussing strengths, McKee advises candidates to focus on qualities that align with the job requirements, providing examples that demonstrate these attributes in action. Conversely, when addressing weaknesses, honesty coupled with a proactive approach to improvement is key. Candidates should acknowledge areas of development and discuss the steps they are taking to enhance these skills, reflecting a commitment to personal growth.
Chapter 6. Navigating Salary Discussion.
Salary discussions can be delicate. McKee recommends that candidates conduct market research to understand the standard compensation for the role and industry. When prompted about salary expectations, candidates should provide a range that reflects their experience and the market rate, while expressing openness to negotiation. This approach demonstrates both preparedness and flexibility. Chapter 7. Explaining Employment Gaps. Employment gaps are common and can be addressed effectively. McKee suggests that candidates frame these periods positively, focusing on any constructive activities undertaken, such as further education, skill development, or volunteer work. This perspective showcases a candidate's initiative and continuous commitment to personal and professional growth. Chapter 8. Handling behavioral questions. Behavioral questions assess how candidates have handled situations in the past, providing insight into their future performance. McKee advises candidates to prepare for these questions by reflecting on past experiences where they demonstrated key competencies relevant to the role. Utilizing the STAR method can aid in delivering structured and impactful responses. Chapter 9. Demonstrating cultural fit. Cultural fit is a significant factor in hiring decisions. McKee emphasizes the importance of understanding the company's values and work environment. Candidates should articulate how their personal values align with the company's culture, providing examples of how they have thrived in similar environments, thereby reinforcing their suitability for the organization. Chapter 10. Asking insightful questions. Towards the end of an interview, candidates are often given the opportunity to ask questions. McKee encourages the preparation of thoughtful questions that demonstrate a deep interest in the role and company. Inquiring about team dynamics, company goals, or opportunities for professional development can leave a positive impression, indicating that the candidate is considering how they can contribute to and grow with the organization. Chapter 11. Maintaining professionalism under pressure. Interviews can be stressful, and maintaining composure is crucial. McKee advises candidates to practice mindfulness and stress reduction techniques to remain calm and focused. Demonstrating professionalism under pressure reflects resilience and the ability to handle challenging situations, qualities that are highly valued by employers. Chapter 12. Following up after the interview. The post-interview follow-up is an opportunity to reinforce interest in the position. McKee recommends sending a personalized thank you note, expressing gratitude for the opportunity and reiterating enthusiasm for the role. This courteous gesture can distinguish a candidate from others and keep them top of mind with hiring managers. Chapter 13. Tell me about yourself. Crafting your elevator pitch. This is often the first question in an interview, yet it can trip up many candidates. McKee underscores that this question isn't about reciting your resume. It's about crafting a succinct narrative that highlights your key qualifications, experience, and what brings you to this job. McKee suggests framing your response by covering 3 areas: who you are, where you've been, and where you want to go. The goal is to present yourself as a motivated, competent professional whose skills and values align with the company's goals. By following McKee's method, candidates can ensure that this question serves as a springboard for a positive and engaging interview. Chapter 14. Why should we hire you? The opportunity to sell yourself. This is the moment when candidates can confidently demonstrate their value. McKee teaches candidates to answer this question by highlighting specific skills and attributes that directly correlate with the job description. Instead of just listing strengths, McKee encourages a blend of self-awareness and self-promotion. She suggests using the evidence technique, where candidates provide concrete examples that reflect their ability to excel in the role. Whether it's through past achievements, problem-solving, or leadership experiences, McKee explains that candidates need to prove not only that they can do the job, but that they can do it better than anyone else. Chapter 15. Handling. What are your weaknesses? The balancing act. This is a classic interview challenge that many find difficult. McKee advises candidates to embrace this question with honesty, but with a twist. She explains that it's essential to choose a weakness that is neither a critical flaw nor a minor issue, but rather a developmental area that you're actively working to improve. By demonstrating self-awareness and a commitment to growth, candidates can turn this question into an opportunity to show their ability to learn and adapt. McKee also emphasizes the importance of framing the weakness in a way that doesn't undermine your credibility for the position. Chapter 16. Tell me about a time when you faced a challenge, showcasing problem-solving abilities. Behavioral interview questions, such as this one, can feel like a challenge, but McKee explains that they are your opportunity to shine. By using the STAR method, situation, task, action, result, you can provide a structured and impactful answer that highlights your problem-solving skills. McKee walks candidates through various examples where challenges in the workplace were met with creative solutions, demonstrating both competence and resilience. By following her advice, you can respond to questions about challenges in a way that reinforces your value to the company. Chapter 17. Why did you leave your last job? Navigating sensitive topics. When discussing past job departures, candidates often face the risk of sounding negative or defensive. McKee urges candidates to focus on the positive reasons for leaving. Instead of criticizing previous employers, it's important to highlight how you're seeking new opportunities for growth, greater alignment with your values, or a position that better matches your career goals. McKee offers practical strategies for framing your departure in a way that presents you as forward-thinking, focused on your personal and professional development, and eager to take on new challenges. Chapter 18. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Showcasing long-term vision. This question can be tricky because it's about balancing your ambitions with the company's needs. McKee suggests that candidates avoid overly vague or unrealistic answers. Instead, they should speak to a vision that aligns with the company's growth and goals while demonstrating a clear path of career progression. By answering this question thoughtfully, you can convey that you are not only interested in the job at hand, but also in growing with the company, which signals loyalty and potential for long-term success. Chapter 19. What do you know about our company? Showing your research. McKee insists that this question should never catch you off guard. She stresses that preparation is key, and job candidates should know the company's history, culture, products, services, and any recent news or achievements. McKee explains how demonstrating your knowledge of the company not only shows that you've done your homework, but also that you have a genuine interest in the position. This demonstrates that you're serious about the role and that you understand how your skills can contribute to the company's goals. Chapter 20. Do you have any questions for us? The opportunity to engage. In McKee's view, the questions for the interviewer segment of the interview is a critical opportunity to leave a lasting impression. This is not the time to ask about salary or vacation days. Instead, McKee advises asking thoughtful questions about the company's culture, values, team dynamics, or future direction. The goal is to demonstrate that you are already considering how you can add value to the team and contribute to its long-term success. Asking insightful questions positions you as someone who is both proactive and genuinely interested in the role. Chapter 21. Handling curveballs and unexpected questions. While the book covers the most common interview questions, McKee also prepares candidates for the unexpected, including bizarre or off-the-wall questions. She highlights the importance of staying calm and composed in these situations, suggesting that candidates take a moment to gather their thoughts before responding. McKee offers tips for answering questions that might seem irrelevant, emphasizing the value of turning even the strangest question into an opportunity to showcase your problem-solving skills, adaptability, and ability to think on your feet. Chapter 22. Mastering the behavioral interview. Behavioral interviews are becoming more common as companies seek candidates who can demonstrate real-life examples of how they've handled situations in the past. McKee emphasizes the importance of preparing for these questions in advance by using the STAR method: situation, task, action, and result, which is a clear framework to provide structured, impactful answers. She explains how each element of the STAR method is designed to guide the candidate in framing responses that not only address the question but also highlight key competencies such as problem-solving, teamwork, and leadership. McKee offers practical tips for tailoring your answers to specific job roles, as well as providing guidance on how to handle particularly tricky behavioral questions, such as when the interviewer asks you to describe a situation where you failed or made a mistake. Instead of shying away from these difficult questions, McKee teaches you how to reframe your failures as learning experiences, demonstrating growth and resilience, traits that are highly valued by employers. Chapter 23. Addressing gaps in employment or career transitions. One of the more delicate aspects of job interviews is addressing gaps in employment or transitioning from one career to another. McKee tackles this head-on, offering advice on how to handle these topics without sounding defensive or apologetic. She advises candidates to be honest about the gap while reframing it in a positive light, whether it's through personal growth, further education, or even volunteer work that contributed to skill building. For those changing careers, McKee stresses the importance of emphasizing transferable skills, those qualities and experiences that are relevant across various industries. For example, skills like communication, leadership, and project management are universally valuable and can be leveraged to show why you're uniquely suited for a new role, even if your background doesn't directly align with the job description. Chapter 24. Responding to salary questions with confidence. Discussing salary is one of the most uncomfortable parts of any interview. McKee recognizes this and provides strategies to approach this topic with confidence and professionalism. Instead of immediately disclosing your salary expectations, McKee suggests using tactful strategies like redirecting the conversation to focus on the overall value the role provides, including benefits, opportunities for growth, and the company's overall compensation package. She also discusses how to research salary ranges for similar positions in your area and how to prepare for the negotiation process by knowing your worth. Armed with this knowledge, you can respond to salary questions in a way that reflects both your value and flexibility, ensuring that you remain open to negotiations without underselling yourself. Chapter 25. Dealing with panel interviews and group assessments. Panel interviews and group assessments can feel like a daunting challenge, but McKee offers strategies to thrive in these settings. She explains that the key to success in a panel interview is managing your responses so that you engage all members of the panel, making eye contact with each person and directing your answers in a way that speaks to the group as a whole. When it comes to group assessments, McKee advises candidates to demonstrate collaboration and leadership skills without overshadowing others. The goal is to contribute to the group dynamic while also showcasing your ability to listen, problem solve, and work effectively in a team environment. These assessments often involve group exercises where your interpersonal and communication skills are tested, so it's important to show that you can both lead and work collaboratively with peers. Chapter 26. Nailing the final round interview. The final round interview is where the stakes are highest, and McKee's advice here is invaluable for making sure you close strong. She outlines several key strategies for preparing for this crucial stage, such as revisiting the company's mission, values, and the specific role you're applying for to realign your responses with the company's culture and needs. McKee stresses that final round interviews often focus on cultural fit, so it's important to show that you align with the company's values, vision, and team dynamics. McKee also suggests asking more personalized questions during this stage, questions that show you are already thinking about how you'll contribute to the company's long-term goals. By doing so, you communicate that you are not just interested in the position, but in being part of the company's future. Part 5. Post-interview strategies for success. McKee wraps up the book with a thorough examination of what happens after the interview, offering insight into how you can maximize your chances of success with follow-up strategies. Post-interview actions are just as critical as the interview itself, and McKee emphasizes the importance of making a lasting impression by following up promptly and professionally. Chapter 27. The Power of the Thank You Note. Many candidates overlook the power of a thank you note, but McKee stresses its importance. A well-crafted thank you note serves not only as a polite gesture, but also as a final opportunity to reinforce your interest in the position, reiterate your qualifications, and highlight any key points that may have been overlooked during the interview. McKee suggests that candidates send the thank you note within 24 hours of the interview, and she provides examples of how to structure these notes in a way that leaves a strong, positive impression. Chapter 28. Evaluating the interview and making final adjustments. Once the interview is over, McKee advises candidates to reflect on the experience. She encourages you to ask yourself questions about how you performed, what went well, and where there's room for improvement. By doing this, candidates can refine their interview techniques for future opportunities, ultimately becoming more adept at responding to tough questions with poise and confidence.
Chapter 29. Handling, reaktion, gracefully.
Rejection is an inevitable part of the job search process, and McKee offers guidance on how to handle it with grace. Instead of becoming discouraged, McKee advises candidates to view rejection as a learning experience. By asking for feedback from the interviewer when appropriate, you can gain valuable insights into areas where you can improve for the next interview. Rejection is an opportunity for growth, and McKee encourages job seekers to stay positive and keep moving forward, honing their skills with each interview. Conclusion: the interview as a reflection of your professional journey. In her concluding remarks, McKee reminds readers that the interview process is not just about securing a job. It's about showcasing the culmination of your skills, experience, and personal growth. It's an opportunity to reflect on your journey and confidently communicate the value you bring to the table. The goal of the interview process, according to McKee, is not only to impress the interviewer, but to leave them with a strong impression of your potential. Through the practical techniques and deep insights provided in How to Answer Interview Questions, 101 Tough Interview Questions, Peggy McKee ensures that listeners are equipped to excel in any interview, no matter how tough the questions. By preparing with the strategies outlined in this book, candidates can approach interviews with confidence, clarity, and the ability to turn any tough question into an opportunity for success. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new video updates. Happy learning!